Do you follow all of this?
I do.
Then, when the Nautilus is afloat under these circumstances, 1/10 is out of the water. Now, if I have made reservoirs of a size equal to this tenth, or capable of holding 150 tons, and if I fill them with water, the boat, weighing then 1,507 tons, will be completely immersed. That would happen, Professor. These reservoirs are in the lower parts of the Nautilus. I turn on taps and they fill, and the vessel sinks that had just been level with the surface. Well, Captain, but now we come to the real difficulty. I can understand your rising to the surface, but diving below the surface, does not your submarine contrivance encounter a pressure and consequently undergo an upward thrust of 1 atmosphere for every 30 feet of water, just about 15 pounds per square inch?
Just so, sir.
Then unless you quite fill the Nautilus, I do not see how you can draw it down to those depths.
Professor, you must not confound statistics with dynamics, or you will be exposed to grave errors. There is very little labor spent in attaining the lower regions of the ocean, for all bodies have a tendency to sink. When I wanted to find out the necessary increase of weight required to sink the Nautilus, I had only to calculate the reduction of volume that seawater requires according to the depth.
That is evident.
Now, if water is not absolutely incompressible, it is at least capable of very slight compression. Indeed, after the most recent calculations, this reduction is only 0.000436 of an atmosphere for each 30 feet of depth. If we wanted to sink 3,000 feet, I should keep account of the reduction of bulk under a pressure equal to that of a column of water of 1,000 feet. Are you following this? The calculation is easily verified. Now, I have supplementary reservoirs capable of holding 100 tons. Therefore, I can sink to a considerable depth. When I wish to rise to the level of the sea, I only let off the water and empty all the reservoirs if I want the Nautilus to emerge from the 10th part of her total capacity. I had nothing to object to these reasonings.
I admit your calculations, Captain, I replied. I shall be wrong to dispute them, since daily experience confirms them. But I foresee a real difficulty in the way.
What, sir?
When you are about 1,000 feet deep, the wall of the Nautilus bears a pressure of 100 atmospheres. If, then, just now you were to empty the supplementary reservoirs to lighten the vessel and to go up to the surface, the pumps must overcome the pressure of 100 atmospheres, which is 1,500 pounds per square inch. From that, a power of
that electricity alone can give, said the captain hastily. I repeat, sir, that the dynamic power of my engines is almost infinite. The pumps of the Nautilus have an enormous power, as you must have observed when their jets of water burst like a torrent upon the Abraham Lincoln. Besides, I use subsidiary reservoirs only to attain a mean depth of 750 to 1,000 fathoms. Also, when I have a mind to visit the depths of the ocean 5 or 6 miles below the surface, I make use of a slower but not less infallible means.
What are they, Captain?
That involves telling you how the Nautilus is worked.
I am impatient to learn.
To steer this boat to starboard or port, or turn, in a word, following a horizontal plan, I use an ordinary rudder fixed on the back of the stern post, and with one wheel and some tackle to steer by. But I can also make the Nautilus rise and sink and rise, by a vertical movement, by means of 2 inclined planes fastened to its sides, opposite the center of flotation, planes that move in every direction and that are worked by powerful levers from the interior. I'm going to cut the sound. Hopefully my video is still rolling.